So for all of you out there who have been paying attention to the ad crisis going on YouTube as of late, apparently we're starting to see the results of it, and in particular, the people who are suffering from it the most. And that are these people I like to deem as pro-blacks. Conscious people. People who push the message that it's not your fault that you screwed up in school and didn't pay attention and instead wanted to be a wannabe thug to impress some hood rats and ended up going to jail or getting pregnant or shot. No, that's white supremacy's fault. That's the ongoing legacy of slavery's fault. And quite frankly, you had nothing to do with that. You hold no responsibility. You're totally unaware of your current state. And one of these people, one of these main people who've been doing this, has been the Advice Show. Quite frankly, people like the Advice Show are the kind of people I made this channel to call out. People like the Advice Show and others like him, or her, or not her. Well, another female example of someone who does this is one Cynthia G from what I've heard, she's doing the exact same thing, apparently. Her Weave account, Weave budget is running out, and apparently she needs a bit more donations so she can get that hairdo and all that other extra fun shit. And apparently it's, times getting tough. Donald Trump is cracking down on the hood rats and all those other people, the single mothers. Not saying she's a single mother, but those kind of people who rely on the government just to fund their lifestyle and all this other crap. So she's doing what she's doing, and to her credit, there are a bunch of other of her kind of people who are getting at her Patreon, donating to her and such, but apparently not with the Advice Show, because the Advice Show decided to shut down all operations for the time being, until he gets enough Patreon donations or Patreon pledges. And apparently, I listened to the entire speech, that he had about the future direction of his channel. And quite frankly, it's been a relief, because my subscription box has been reduced by 30%, so I can actually scroll down and get to the videos I want to watch. Why am I subscribed to him, by the way? Well, it's basically the reason why I'm subscribed to the likes of your Tariq Nasheeds, to make sure to see when they really fuck up, or when they get into some YouTube drama, because apparently those kind of conscious pro-black white supremacy, or in the Advice Show case, Ding diddly who, didn't do nothing, gosh darn it, damn it, Dale, white supremacy, y'all. Those kind of people, they can't stay out of trouble. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but whenever the money's going down just a bit, they didn't mention somebody else's name in their mouth, and YouTube beef, and it ends up on John Scarce, drama alert, I don't know. Yeah, these are the kind of people who have no talent whatsoever, and more importantly, they have no content, or at least no real content that is worthwhile to tell to the people, especially the black community. And I know I'm not, and in this case, I'm not going to really use the black community in a sarcastic way, but because guess what? Thanks to people in the black manosphere, we're starting to see somewhat of a community showing up, at least a community of males who are on point. And I'll talk about those guys later. But these pro-blacks, these black victimhood people, and I can't really call the Advice Show pro-black per se, because he's not in that world of black consciousness, and with your Tariqs and your Umars and your Atra, Suit Seti, Brother Polites, all those guys, he still has this old school black victimhood that he's trying to push. If you watch his channel, it's more along the lines of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. Historically, actually, his channel used to be, it actually originated from basically doing videos similar to what Tommy Sotomayor did. Which, speaking of Tommy Sotomayor, as much of an asshole as he is, as hypocritical as he can be about, black bitches ain't shit, and he acts like a black woman, and he thirsts after white and light-skinned chicks, but he definitely hates light-skinned dudes. I mean, that's a whole nother story. The guy's entertaining. You can actually watch him for a few hours on it. Unlike a fight show, which I can't even listen to 5 minutes unless it's stuff like this. And that's actually the reason why I'm sub to him. At least he's smart enough to realize that not all people who are sub to him are fans of his. So I guess he has some sort of IQ ranging around 100. I'm not sure, but I mean, listen to the guy. I mean, the guy didn't get the memo that slavery ended and that we're actually allowed to speak proper English or reasonable English without sounding like we just came from the fucking cotton fields, for starters. I mean, you listen to him. His pronunciation, his syntax, his grammar, it's completely fucked up. There's no other way to say it. It's completely fucked up to the point in which it's like, dude, did you even graduate from high school or middle school for that matter? Anyway, I can go on all day. Good old Texas education system. What else? Apparently, the Tommy Sotomayor. So he was doing fits like Tommy, and Tommy called him out for it. Tommy cooked the shit out of him. If I show went back at him, it was a big back and forth a few years ago, and yeah, remember the days of Mr. Swolfat? That's what it was, Swolfat. So there was that. After If I Show got his whole car called out, he went from being a wannabe Tommy Sotomayor to a wannabe Tariq Nasheed, which is resulting in what we have today, a bunch of the same kind of people who follow Tariq Nasheed and his ilk and his peers following the If I Show. I mean, I already gave you an example of what the If I Show talks about, and basically just switch out Tariq Nasheed's 1970s blaxploitation deliverance with a freaking, what was it, the Heat in the Night deliverance, and they're basically the same guys. So, but now you got If I Show. Now you got also people like Cynthia G and other pro-blacks who are literally shutting, not just asking for donations or Patreon while they're putting in work and giving you stuff in return for it, but you can say Tommy, he can e-beg a lot, but at the very least, I mean, he isn't stopping all operations until he gets a certain amount of subscriptions and blah, blah, blah. And, well, granted, he doesn't deliver a lot when it comes to Patreon. But he delivers much more than people like the If I Show and just Cynthia G are doing. I mean, literally stopping all operations and then asking you to pay. I mean, whereas before, you got his content for free, you got everything else for free, and quite frankly, the main reason why it's not going to work, the main reason why the If I Show is going to fail when it comes to his target of donations and Patreon subscriptions, all that kind of stuff, is simple. Your demographic's poor. They're poor as hell. This is why I say being pro-black does not pay. When being pro-black doesn't pay. When playing the black victimhood card does not play. Card, I should say. See, as I said, I'm not perfect, but at least I go back and correct my pronunciations. But the same kind of people that the If I Show, never mind that he misspelled advice, but the If I Show went after are the same kind of people who, they're easier to get, they're more in abundance in the so-called black community, they're what we call mediocre Negroes, or just whatever, the other kind of people who I won't even mention today because I'm just the people who dwell in their own misery, the people who didn't get the memo and aren't getting the memo that, white supremacy didn't fuck you over. You did that to yourself. I'm sorry. You fucking did that to yourself. Yes, you. You who got knocked up at 14 and 15 because you thought Ron, Man, Little Twin were cute. And then only to just have these Negroes fight at you, and then you end up going with Duracell and Dem Quavia. Yeah, those kind of people. And then the same kind of people. Your Mans and Little Twins who, or your former Mans and Little Twins who fucking around the streets, thinking it was cool, thinking you were being pro-black, and keeping it real. Yeah, you got caught up, got your ass sent to juvie or prison or jail, or you just dropped out of school, unmarketable, sitting at home, smoking dope, playing 2K Madden all day, and yeah, it's a white man's fault. And it's having all sorts of fucking hood rats to choose from, whereas, yeah, 10 years ago, you were banging the baddest chicks, but now look at you. The bad chicks you were banging, you're still paying for child support, and you aren't even getting a piece of ass. But whose fault is it? It's white supremacy, y'all. Man, fuck white man. White supremacy, shit. Let me sub these channels with Vital and Tariq and my mans and them to make me feel better, y'all. Instead of getting your ass up, doing what you have to do to correct your life, and being on your way, quite frankly. And instead of listening to people who are actually giving you real game, real advice, not advice, they're giving you advice, and tips on how to get your shit together. So, and back to the demographic. This is the demographic, whereas, yeah, they'll comment all day because half of them don't work. They'll thumbs up the video all the way because these people are pandering to their victimhood and massaging them mentally, basically just catering to their little world of, well, I didn't do nothing. And quite frankly, yeah, I mean, they'll get. I'm sure they made plenty of money. I'm sure Vi's show made plenty of money. But when the hammer came down, when YouTube was like, no, yeah, we're starting to see. we're really starting to see what kind of fans you have. We're broke. I mean, compare this to the Black Manosphere, whereas, yes, the average person in the Black Manosphere does not have as many followers as a Tommy Sotomayor, well, throw him in here, as a Tariq Nasheed or a Bias show, but these people who are following the men in the Black Manosphere have money. So for all of you who are going to blame and complain and call me a sellout and an ass-kisser bootlicker, well, guess what? Let's do bank account to bank account. Like, some people challenge other people when they go to Chicago to do the hoe for hoe challenge, number for number, bitch for bitch challenge, which we need to see that. Tommy Sotomayor versus Minister Jap, bitch for hoe competition. Who can get the most hoes in one night? I pay pay-per-view to see that. I pay pay-per-view money to see that shit. But, like, for all of you pro-blacks and you people who can come to my channel and say, man, you sell, you Uncle Tom. Let's do bank account for bank account challenge right now. If you aren't going to do that, don't comment on my fucking videos. But, for everyone else out there, go support the Black Manosphere. Check out some real... Go Patreon some real people who are giving some real content, who are delivering on what they have to say on some real shit. Your O'Shea's, your Angry Mans, your Minister Japs, your BGS Ibmores, your Solo TVs, your Rango TV Raws, your Roger Allen Currys, your Obsidian Mans, your Ron Wills. Go check out these guys. And if they have Patreons, I'm going to put them in the description. So, at the very least, your money can go to something in which you'll get a return on your investment. And not necessarily a monetarily return, but a return to respect. Respect of the name of the black man. And some roast videos in between. Nothing else. You get the unedited roast. Oh, we need roast. We gotta have that roast. Oh, we want the... I know it's in reverse. I'm fucking up. but we want the roast. We gotta have that roast. And you know who I'm talking about specifically, but I'm about to go to your Patreon page, give you your 5, and let me stop. Everyone else out there always bet on X.